What's going on, people? We are back again with another video, and this one right here is all about Tammy, the most recent episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters, season 5, episode 3. Now, when it comes to Tammy, we know that she's been quite successful as of late with the whole weight loss journey, but what we don't know is how the journey went. What were the obstacles? What were the challenges? And also, how can anybody else who's in the same position as her learn from how she was able to go from being such a vulnerable human being to being such a powerful person now? Maybe powerful is a bit too strong, but you get what I mean. Now, with that being said, please sit back, relax, but of course smash the like button as well as subscribing, you know what I mean, so you're always in tune with everything that's going on More Madness. Now, with that being said, let's see exactly how Tammy was in this episode.
I just missing my husband, and in a few days Chris and I are going down to Lexington to see Dr. Smith.
And she had a huge smile on her face. Today for Tammy, I'm hoping to see definitely over 100-pound weight loss in surgery. All right.
Before surgery, I was 534 pounds. Back then, Dr. Smith told me I have 6 months to lose 100 pounds.
420 pounds. Did you ever think you would see the day of 420 pounds?
But in 6 months, I lost over 100 pounds. The last time I weighed this low, I was like 15, 16.
All right, let's talk about that. I mean, listen, first and foremost, I don't know why, but I was expecting like such a bigger number. Like, well, I say smaller number, should I say. When I saw the 420, I was like, that's still quite a lot though. But then I realized something. Obviously, she was 5'35" before, and the goal was to lose 100 pounds. She's obviously over succeeded that. I believe it's 115 pounds. But I guess the reason why I was looking for it to be a bit lower is because I've seen Tammy in current time right now where she's definitely a whole lot more smaller. So therefore, I guess I had an expectation that was just based on just foolishry. Foolishry, is that even a word? I don't know. But either way though, it's a good thing because this is the first time that she's actually been able to lose weight on a consistent basis. But it is quite crazy that when she was 15, 16, she was already at 420 pounds. That is a lot of freaking pounds. And I ain't talking about the money, you know what I mean? If you're, of course, from the UK, we use pounds. But that's a lot of... And to be honest with you, if you're 16 right now, 15, 16 right now, and you are pretty much touching 420 pounds, you need to go and get yourself looked at real quick and try and get as much help as you can to make sure that you don't get to that stage. Now, Tammy is 30 plus. She's 36, I believe. 36, 35, maybe 37 by now. I'm not too sure. But the fact that she's been able to survive for this long at that weight for that many years is actually quite incredible, to be fair, because not everybody makes it to 30. Not everybody makes it to 25, you know, when it comes to being obese. Because obviously obesity is a very, very dangerous thing. That's why it's quite sad that we live in a world nowadays. Well, sadly, obesity is promoted, you know, as part of body positivity. And it is quite sad because what is actually happening is that people are being blinded from the scares of the health. Just because somebody makes it to 30 being obese, it doesn't mean it's okay. Just because they make it to 40, maybe even 50, it doesn't mean that it's okay, but your body is still suffering. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Tammy is very, very lucky, but we also know that Tammy has had a lot of near scares. There's many times that she has ended up in a coma. And we can't forget that. Her being in coma multiple times clearly tells you that the way she was weighing was never healthy. And I feel like there's a lot of people in this world who go through the body positivity situation that are never actually open about, hey, okay, you know, I'm not going to tell anyone that I've actually had this scare and that scare. I'm just going to continue promoting that being big and being unhealthy is like the best thing in the world, when in reality, you're just literally trying to make other people ill and X, Y, Z. It is so, so sad. But either way, though, we continue.
Another 6 months total. So at your year, I can expect you to be around 318 pounds, the first 100 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
He can vouch for that. Don't get discouraged by it. Keep doing the right things and be honest with yourself.
That is the truth. I mean, Doctor now talks about this all the time, you know, as well as the doctors off of 1,000 Pound Sisters, the 1,000 Pound Best Friends, and that is the fact that once you get to a certain weight, it becomes very, very hard to lose that weight. You know, your body can become stagnant very easily, and that is something that I believe Chris is going through. But I will be explaining that in another video where I do talk about Chris and show the other bits of course, what he's been talking about throughout his journey of the weight loss throughout this episode. So please do stay tuned for the Chris video as well as the Amanda and Misty one as well, because they're all going through the same journey. But I think the main thing here is that Tammy is in a position in life where she's able to keep her head held high, because to be honest, to to come out of rehab and come out of, you know, the situation, and then to come back into the real world or the family life where Amy's going through it, and then Amy's now having to live with Tammy. I can't imagine how stressful that was for Tammy. And then also on top of that, also missing your husband. Like, yo, it's crazy. And to be fair, Caleb's story as well, we're also going to get to that as well in a different video, because of course there were certain things that were told in this episode around Caleb, so I will get to that in another upload. So stay tuned, subscribe. But for now, let's continue with Tammy.
I'm extremely proud of the way Tammy has picked up and stood up for the family. Now, what I'm worried about is it being too much for her, because she is enduring a lot of change in her life right now too.
I never imagined being at home and living with Amy instead of my husband. Every day is a different battle with missing Caleb. I'm trying to hold things together on the outside and just put my feelings aside for my family. One of my problems, because I'm not dealing with my own.
You know, it's crazy because Tammy was somebody that once upon a time would have never said it out loud that she's got her own shiz that she's dealing with, and you know, having to do that is something that's challenging. But also at the same time, Tammy was someone that back in the day, if she wasn't the one getting the attention, she'd be thrown one under a strop. So to see her mentality change in so many ways is crazy in the most positive way possible, you know, because she went from being the crybaby, being the first sport. I mean, to be fair, they're all crybabies, but she went from being the worst one, the most extreme one, being the most over dramatic one, being the one that was the most the one that was less understanding about anything and everything, to now being the one that's, listen, sis, I know you was here for me, so I've got your back. Don't worry. You can stay with me while you make your mind up about your husband, okay? It's all good. Don't worry about the kids. The kids aren't making me struggle sleeping at night. It's actually the fact that I'm actually just missing my boo. That's what it is. Honestly, her being reassuring to the family is crazy, but it's so good. But also at the same time, it's good that she, most important, not even good, most importantly, she is acknowledging that she may just be ignoring her mental health at the same time, which is why it's very good that at least Chris has been able to, you know, pull up Tam every night and say, hey, like, so how you doing? Like, you know, just let me know how you doing. And to be fair, Amy has done the same thing too, respectfully, because Amy has also felt like as if maybe this is too much for Tammy, because she just come out of hospital and straight in, she's into all of this madness. So it is nice to see that even though the family are all going through different things, that right now they are still thinking of each other. But I think for Tammy, it is more important than ever, because she's never been in this position before. And obviously sometimes when it comes to families or even friendships, sometimes it's always someone else's turn to get the attention the most in terms of being looked after. So it's not in a case of where, you know, other people are neglecting their lives and whatnot. I like the fact that they are all trying to tend to Tammy and trying to make sure that she's okay, because everybody's always going to go for a phrase where someone else is going to be the focal point. And right now, Tammy is a focal point as well as Amy is as well. So it is nice to see that even though Amy is, Amy's still able to ask Tammy, hey, you okay? And so is Chris at the same time, which is fantastic. And let's not forget though, Chris is still going through his own weight loss journey, and also Amanda and Misty are also trying to get approved for weight loss surgery as well. So honestly, seeing this family as a unit is freaking incredible. Freaking incredible, you know, because we've seen them at their worst. Well, at the worst on TV anyway, you know what I mean? But we've also seen them at their best, and I feel like right now is the pinnacle moment, pinnacle time for this family. So honestly, I can only hope that things continue going in this direction. Of course, in current times, it seems to be. So let's just hope for the future. But at the same time, though, Amy does look like she may be losing her shiz right now, to be fair, because because I did just make a video about her in terms of her in front of the kids, and she's got a new man in her life. So yeah, but nonetheless, though, thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned for some more content around the House of My Sisters and more content around other things that I also do on this platform. But hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.